Hello and welcome to Weekly Weird News, brought to you by Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben, I'm hanging out with Mike,
hello,
Claire,
hey,
and Pete, hello. And in a week when all we've been subjected to is Queen-related news, hopefully this, and it's not just us, it's across Europe, it's across the world. I, for one, am getting slightly fed up of it. I'm glad it's going to be over tomorrow. I'm going to bring you only one slightly royal-related piece of news.
Oh, I've got one as well.
Two slightly related royal pieces of news.
Royal
not six.
Piece of news.
Well, slightly related to the royal.
Yeah, we cut through all the other bullshit.
We've cut, as the podcast is called, Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse, we have cut through the bullshit to find you only the weirdest
bullshit
this week. It's called Weird News. Let's do it. Ukrainian astronomers claim UFOs everywhere over Kyiv. Or Kyiv. Obviously he is drawn by heat and conflict. That's Terminator shit.
Yeah.
Predator. It's Predator. Ukrainian astronomers say the skies over their war-torn country are crowded not only with Russian missiles but a large number of UFOs. These surprising claims are outlined in a new research paper published by the main astronomical observatory of Ukraine's National Academy of Science. The paper, titled Unidentified Area Phenomena, Observations and Events, claims that researchers detected numerous UFOs from two meteor observation stations in Kyiv and the village of Vinrika, about 75 miles outside the capital. We see them everywhere. We observe a significant number of objects whose nature is not clear, the authors of the paper write. Flights of single, group and squadrons of the ships were detected, moving at speeds from 3 to 15 degrees per second, so that's more than anything else we've built is manoeuvring.
Is it?
Well, the 53 to a 15 degree turn per second. Yeah, I don't know if we can do a 15 degree turn a second. Well, no, not even missiles are probably doing that, even the hypersonic things. Ukrainian scientists involved in the study described two different types of UFOs, which they call cosmics and phantoms.
If they're going to call them, it's a bit biased, isn't it?
Yeah.
You call it anomaly A and anomaly B.
Yeah.
Well, there's two different types, so that's, I guess they're just trying to... That's,
Alright.
According to the paper, a cosmic is a luminous object that appears brighter than the background of the sky, while a phantom is a dark object with a completely black body that does not emit and absorbs all the radiation falling on it, so the light radiation, UV, light, anything like that.
It's not reflecting.
Searchlights, maybe? The main characteristic of the UFOs observed by Kyiv's astronomers is their extremely high speed, which can only be detected with specialised equipment.
Oh.
The eye does not fix phenomena lasting less than 1/10 of a second, the study says. It takes 4/10 of a second to recognise an event. Ordinary photo and video recordings will also not capture the UFO. To detect UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon, you need to fine-tune the equipment, shutter speed, frame rate and dynamic range. Using colour video cameras with fine-tuned shutter speed, frame rate and range positioned at the two meteor observation stations, the researchers said they were able to record the unknown object zooming through the sky. And it does make sense if you think, well, they're buzzing American carrier fleets, carrier battle groups, then they're definitely going to be all over this, all over the Ukrainian conflict. A composite image of a phantom included in the paper shows the unidentified dark object moving through space. The paper does not say what these objects might be and makes no reference to the ongoing war, now in its 7th month, which has seen Russian missiles raining down on Ukrainian cities. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of missiles. We're going to have a lot of war stuff, drones.
Drones, I was thinking.
But if these things are turning and moving
That fast.
at fast and flying in squadrons and manoeuvring, then
They're not man-made.
they're not man-made, or certain, unless they are literally the very tippity tip of what America's got in the area. I mean, the Aurora, maybe. That's their secret spy plane. They reckon they've had replaced the Blackbird. Who can say? But we all know that UFOs, UAPs are drawn to conflict areas. We've done a whole episode on that in the past before now. You know, it's a possibility.
Observing, weren't they?
Yeah.
Watching, waiting.
Could be a natural phenomenon.
Could be.
Or lightning.
Could be all the... well,
Certainly the cosmic one could have been, not the dark one.
well, I suppose you've always got a lot of stuff in the sky, haven't you? And you've got fumes and stuff in the air from burning vehicles and various burning chemicals, who can say? But if they're capturing this stuff on film in photos,
Needs to be analysed, doesn't it?
it needs to be looked at.
If it's there, it's there. What is it?
Yep.
Yep.
That's the question, isn't it?
By the way, the Ukrainians counter-attack. They are now 50 miles from the Russian border in some areas.
Ooh.
Gained over 3,000 square kilometres of Ukrainian territory back.
Well, they've done that because I guess the Russians haven't been able to rearm themselves
They've been
very
shit, haven't
well,
they?
have they? Whereas the Ukrainians have been armed by the Yanks, by us, by the French, by
The EU. The EU bought weapons to give to Ukraine.
Better weaponry, isn't it?
much better weaponry as
That's
well.
it. And don't forget, we've trained something like 5,000 Ukrainian soldiers in Britain. The Americans have been training their officers. Obviously, the Germans have given them tanks. We've all been giving them artillery, assault rifles, ammunition.
You notice how no one's mentioned anything about peace talks?
No. The UN tried to get involved the other week.
Oh, did they?
They
Fucking
did.
hell.
They did, I know. But nothing's come of that.
Oh,
That's
I'm
what I've
surprised.
seen. It's interesting. Russia going from being considered the second greatest army on the planet to being the second greatest army in Ukraine. For years we all shut our pants, didn't we? All the Russians, the Cold War, the Russians come over the border.
It's all bollocks.
And they just had a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But turns out,
Because the Americans needed a boogeyman and it was the Russians, so they hyped them up. They said they're a big threat, and they never were. Not really. I mean,
yeah, a lot of stuff. There a lot of
just the
manpower,
nukes,
a lot of
isn't it?
stuff.
Yeah, the
Just
nukes.
can't mobilise it.
They
Well,
put all
no.
that money into nukes, the Russians have.
That's what they did. It's a nuclear deterrent. You start firing them and then things get a bit dicey, don't they?
Yeah.
Certainly brown trousers time then.
It would be, but I don't think they will.
Well, let's see what the asparagus fortune teller says.
Goes back to the way back. We had this woman on. Well, we didn't have her on. We read her tale.
We'd have this fucking nutter on.
I would. Throw your asparagus in the air, love. See what happens. Predict our futures.
Oh yeah, what am I saying? She's right home here, isn't she?
Of course she is. You're not marrying her. We've had her on before. We've had a particular brand of crazy before, so let's see what she's had to say.
Asparagus fortune teller says Prince William will be king next year and Boris Johnson will return as PM.
Oh, God.
Fucking hell.
You know what? The Boris returning, I think that'll happen. Maybe not next year, but I think it'll happen.
No chance.
I don't think so.
No.
I
chance
do.
And
in
there's
that.
certainly no chance of King Charles handing power over to Prince William next year.
Unless he
He's been
dies.
waiting fucking 50 years, hasn't he?
Unless he dies.
Well, he could.
No, he might just step back and say, alright, you do it. I'm old now,
She
you do
says
it.
that King Charles will hand over to Prince William next year, so that's saying that he doesn't die. That's saying that he's going to abdicate.
Or step back.
I heard.
Sorry.
Make William King Regent.
I heard that he
Or
made.
Prince Regent.
He made a deal with the Queen that he wouldn't abdicate the throne at all. He would stay on the throne until he dies.
But he's not abdicating, he's becoming regent. He's stepping back. I'm still king. I'll come out and do your ceremonial stuff or knight people.
Oh, so he'd be Prince Regent, wouldn't he?
William will be effectively Prince Regent.
Yeah.
He'd do all the events the king should be doing while Charles does whatever else he's
like
doing.
what they used to do in the olden days when the king would be off at war.
Yeah, or if you look at the most famous Prince Regent who went on to be George IV. George III was mad. They made the Blackadder series. They made Prince George was the Prince Regent. He's doing the king stuff because he went on to be George IV, who was an awful monarch.
Because he was thick as pig shit.
Described as a bad friend, a bad person, and a bad monarch by one of his closest advisors.
Well, apparently Jemima Packington is the world's only asparamancer and says she sees a future by tossing spears in the air and interpreting how they land.
That's spears of asparagus, not spears.
She famously foresaw Brexit. Well, that was a 50-50, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Prince Philip's death, he was 99.
Yeah.
Theresa May being ousted as PM.
She
that
was
happens
shit.
Yeah, and that happens to every Prime Minister eventually. And Harry and Meghan stepping back from the royal family.
What was going to happen as soon as he married a black chick?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right there.
Right, I'm right, yeah. As much as we don't want to admit it in this country, yeah, people don't like it because she's black.
Well, the royal family, the racist royal family didn't like it.
Well, no, even
Black.
there's been a thing in the papers this week about them two holding hands when they went to view the Queen in state, and they were like, "Oh, it's terrible. They shouldn't be holding hands."
Why?
But like Charles and Camilla held hands.
Yeah, why can't
Princess
you hold your wife's hand?
Zara and Mike Tyndall, who were members of the royal family, held hands.
Prince Andrew and a random young girl.
Prince Andrew and a random young girl held hands, probably.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
What he just picked up from the queue. I'll get you in quicker.
You know, so come on. What's your problem with them two holding hands? Why is that the only one that's being drawn attention to? Saying it's
bollocks,
disrespectful. We're willing to admit it or not, the media are racist, and a lot of the people are having their opinions fueled by it.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Tragically, one of our most poignant 2022 predictions proved correct when Her Majesty Elizabeth II died. At Balmoral Castle last Thursday, Jemima, 65, saw the spears of the veg form the shape of a broken crown just months before the Queen died.
Oh, how often does she chuck them up, do you think?
No.
Well, it's a good question, Claire. I'd imagine
Asparagus season.
it's the second time we've seen her in weird news over the course of at least a couple of years, year and a half.
Does it have to be British asparagus, or can she get it from any old shop?
I think it's just she grows,
Where's she
I'd imagine.
I think she's from England, I think.
Should we see if we can
She
get
is.
her on?
But yeah, so that's what she
Have
thinks will happen.
Of our first guest appearance.
Well, I don't know, we can find out, I guess.
After she listens to what we've just been saying about her, she's never going to come on, is she?
Well, we've not said anything bad about her.
She won't listen to the last this podcast.
She might do research if we ask her to come on.
Yeah, if we got hold of her and said we've had you on our podcast a couple of times because we find the news articles about you enthralling. We'd love you to come and do a reading for us on over Skype or something.
We'll be able to keep a straight
email her.
face.
You
Have
email
like
her.
a messenger chat.
Because I really just don't. I don't think prophecy is valid. I don't think I think that's everyone who's made
She's
prophecies.
reading fucking vegetables and
Throw it on
telling
the
you what's
floor
going
in
to
the
happen.
air.
It's got to be bullshit, hasn't it?
The future can't be defined by asparagus alone.
Well, we'll soon find out, won't we? We've got how long left of the year? Next year, she says. We've got 18 months. If Prince William will become king and Boris Johnson will return as PM.
Why can't I see Boris coming back?
I can't. Not at all.
But I know the Tory party still love him.
Maybe not by next year, but I don't know. It's hard to
Thatcher
say.
came back. She was hated by a lot of
She
people.
never came back.
She never came back. She was ousted by her own party.
Yeah. She's
No,
gone,
she
mate.
didn't come back, did she? She
No.
got
No.
yeah. It was what's his face got beat her out in the end. Didn't she?
Major.
John Major.
Although she will be coming back during the apocalypse riding that two-headed dragon.
I thought she rode the pale horse. I thought she was deaf.
11 years she was our Prime Minister though.
Crazy,
Mad,
innit?
isn't it?
Moving on, lorry full of dildos and lube overturns and spills its load onto the motorway.
Yeah.
Well put.
Ruining many people's weekend plans, but bringing some comedy to our day. A lorry full of sex toys and lube crashed on the I-40 at Mustang, just a few miles away from Oklahoma City. The sticky mess happened when two trucks collided in the morning commute on Wednesday.
Oh, gutted.
Miraculously, no one was injured, but authorities were forced to shut several lanes on the motorway to deal with the heavy load.
That is a lot of dildos and sex toys. And lube.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
It's unclear if the merchandise made it to the rightful owners, but one thing is for sure, Christmas came early for those taking part in the clean-up operation.
Did they have to give us a picture of a dildo? I mean, you know what I mean?
With a suction cup nonetheless.
We all know what a dildo looks like.
Yeah, with a suction cup nonetheless. You know, they stick it to a wall and doggy style it.
Do you know?
Well, that's what could happen.
Yeah.
I've seen porn, Mike. I know what goes on.
He uses them regularly.
Nah, it's...
He attaches them to his mirror at home, backs onto them.
Nah, it's not for me. Ever since I had that You know, the doctor gave me the finger up the arse as part of a routine medical examination. I thought,
Put you off for life.
nah, it's not for me.
No, I'm with you on that.
It's just, it's just great, isn't it?
Just a good one, funny one.
Full of dildos and lube. God, I wonder what the share of the dildo market is in the US.
I bet the drivers felt right, dick.
I bet he usually woke up with one stuck to his head.
I bet he gets himself into some right slippery situations, doesn't he?
God, imagine it. Oh, we can't go out to the motorway. There's too much lube out there. Like,
And if you do
police
slip-
officers just slipping over in lube.
And if you slip, there's a chance you're going to penetrate yourself with a dildo.
Could happen.
Yep.
Wow, gay sauna temporarily pauses porn films on Monday as mark of respect to the Queen. It's nice, I guess.
No bumming on the funeral.
No bumming on the day of the funeral.
No.
Pleasure Drome in London, a sauna aimed at gay and bisexual men, will not show any porn films as a mark of respect for the Queen on Monday, September 19th, but will screen her state funeral for punters instead, because that's going to kill the mood. How would you pick yourself? Okay, it's 12 o'clock, she's done, she's in the ground, back to the porn. Yeah. You're like, well, I'm not really in the mood now, just watched the funeral. Take you a bit, innit?
Dear, oh dear.
Pleasure Drome in London will also pause music within the venue, which boasts spas, massage rooms and deluxe pods throughout the day.
Ooh.
Customers at the men-only venue will also be given free champagne so they can toast His Majesty King Charles III, bosses said.
Bet they will. I bet they will toast him.
One social media, who caused the announcement to go viral, user joked, so you can get to boned in mournful silence, then watch her late match the Queen go after her award. It's what she'd have wanted.
Oh dear.
Well, you know what? Apparently a lot of pubs are opening for the funeral,
Yeah,
but they're not serving beer
throughout
it. And you're like, well,
Isn't that what you do at a wake?
you should get like 4 or 5, don't you, for keep yourself flowing throughout
yeah,
the
I know,
ceremony.
but come on, so you can just Chester the show cat you can hear.
Hello, Chester.
He lives here, so he's got more right to be here than the rest of us, apart from Mike.
I don't know, I've not got off this sofa for about 11 months.
True, you are starting to smell a bit though, you should shower.
I know, I keep...
Change your clothes.
Mike keeps asking me to at least have a shower, but...
You've started to meld into the settee, it's becoming one with you.
You can't actually tell what's clothes and what's skin anymore. It's just all like one mulch of something. It's a bit crusty as well.
Eesh.
It looks like a right posh place, doesn't it?
It does look very smart. I don't want to go there though.
Oh, there's free champagne.
If there was women there, I bet you would.
There's
Yeah,
lesbians,
ladies'
isn't
night.
there?
No, it's men only.
Oh, is it?
It's men only, I'm afraid.
Sexist.
Oh yeah, male only.
Pleasure Drome. Fourth Mad Max film. You know there's been a Mad Max porn parody called Mad Max 3 Pleasure Drome. You know, well, you know what? Why the hell not? If that's what they want to do,
Yep.
let them pause it.
Yeah.
I'll dip in and out of it, I must admit.
I bet you would.
The funeral, I meant.
Yeah. Right, you've just said it now. That's it. It's on. That is like written in stone almost.
Oh, stop being a homophobe.
I'm not being a homophobe. I'm quite pleased you've come out.
I won't be visiting the
Treat
Pleasure Drome.
yourself.
I'm not travelling to London on Monday, let's put it that way. Or any other day, really, to go to the Pleasure Drome.
There's one in Oakengates. He's going there.
Yeah, that's the shit one though. No, I'll watch a bit of it on Monday, the funeral. I'll dip in and out, make sure she doesn't smash her way through the coffin and come back to life.
Like Lenin in The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Must destroy capitalism.
Must rebuild British Empire. Smashes her way out. Before you know it, we're invading France.
And Africa and
Yeah. France first, we'll go medieval. We'll do it in order. Yeah, just to make sure that doesn't happen, really.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scientists try to teach robot to laugh at the right time.
Great.
Ha 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 ha.
So they're trying to teach it a sense of humour.
Yeah. Scientists are now developing an AI system that aims to recreate these nuances of humour by laughing in the right way at the right time. The team behind the laughing robot, which is called Erica, say that the system could improve natural conversations between people and AI systems. We think that one of the most important functions of conversational AI is empathy, said Dr. Koji Inu of Kyoto University, the lead author of the research published in Frontiers in Robotics and AI. So we decided that one way a robot can empathise with users is to share their laughter.
I don't like it.
No, creepy as fuck. They'll be laughing as they stood over you with a fucking shotgun, going, ha ha ha, human race is no longer, ha ha ha.
You are the last human.
Now I am going to dip my robotic balls on your forehead.
After you're dead.
I am now teabagging you.
You're like, oh no, I'm the last human. And then someone, no, we shouldn't be teaching AI shit like that so they can fucking fool us either.
We shouldn't be teaching AI.
You know, hey,
I don't think we should be teaching AI full fucking stop.
You know, the AI literally goes, oh, don't worry, I won't kill you all. You're like,
It's then sarcasm!
But then if you're losing out possibly on all the benefits that it could bring.
I know, but it's a very
the possibility of
very
the
real
negative
possibility.
side.
Once it's decided that it's better than us, it's gonna go fuck this guy.
I just think the negative outweighs the positives for it.
Well, we've got to create it surely with some sort of safety,
Fail-safe. That it works out how to get around because it's AI that's
smarter than us.
evolving.
Yeah.
Who's a million times smarter than fucking Einstein.
Yeah, we've thought of it. The AI's like, psh, I thought of that when I was 3 minutes old.
And it could save us from climate change.
Yeah, by killing us all.
Yeah. I'll save the human race.
Don't worry, I'm not going to nerve gas you all.
Make sure you don't give it nerve gas then.
What if it produces nerve gas on its own accord and installs them into all lampposts?
And don't put machine guns in its temples.
No, not like the Orville.
Yeah. It's like,
I haven't listened to that bit yet. Yes, I mean, no, I don't think we should be teaching AIs to laugh. I don't think we should teach them anything but basic maintenance things
Well,
like
the team-
mathematics.
and driving lorries and things like that.
The team behind this think it could take more than 20 years before it would be possible to have a casual chat with a robot like we would with a friend. So we're still some way off.
Oh man, that puts me
Although
into...
Kurzweil thinks 10 years.
But then if
puts
they,
me at
if
58,
they
that's still on to the lead of the human race.
if they think 20 years, the way things advance, it could well be within the next 10 then, couldn't it? Quite easily. Because
Possible.
they didn't think we'd have mobile phones capable of what they are now 30 years ago.
Oh.
No, Tomorrow's World completely missed the mobile phone. Tomorrow's World, for the overseas listener, was a science and tech programme we used to have on in the UK that completely missed the mobile phone.
Tried to predict the future, didn't it?
Yeah, basically.
Future gadgets and things.
Got a few right.
I quite like that actually.
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah, I used to like it. Carol Vorderman, of course, she used to like it.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember it was Philippa Forrester on it.
Carol Vorderman was before Philippa.
Okay, and finally...
China discovers stunning crystal on the moon.
Ooh.
Nuclear fusion fuel, apparently, for limitless energy.
Oh. So they say.
Yeah. The find makes China the third country to discover a new mineral on the moon. And the country says it has analysed the soil for rare helium/3.
Yep.
Just helium-3.
Yeah.
Helium-3.
That's for the nuclear fusion fuel.
Is that like super helium, make you speak really high pitched?
Yeah. And create some bigger bombs, I'd imagine.
So China has discovered a crystal from the moon made of a previously unknown mineral, while also confirming that the lunar surface contains a key ingredient for nuclear fusion, a potential form of effectively limitless power that harnesses the same force that fueled the sun and other stars. The crystal is part of a batch of lunar samples collected by China's Change 5 mission, which landed on the moon in 2020. Loaded up with about 4 pounds of rocks and delivered them to the Earth days later. After carefully sifting through the samples, which were the first moon rocks returned to Earth since 1976, scientists at the Beijing Research Institute of Uranium Geology spotted a single crystal particle, with a diameter smaller than the width of a human hair.
Wow.
The crystal is made of a novel mineral, changesite, named after the Chinese moon goddess.
Hey.
Change. Maybe that's not how you say
It's
the
probably
word. It'll be Chang'e, won't it?
Yeah, probably.
Sorry. So when I've said change, replace it for Chang'e.
Yeah.
That also inspired China's series of lunar missions. It was confirmed that the new mineral on Friday by the Commission of New Minerals, the CNMNC.
Well, either way, it's a sixth new mineral to be identified in moon samples and the first to be discovered by China. Before China, the US and Russia could claim to have discovered a new moon mineral.
It's a transparent crystal that formed in the region of the northern lunar near face that was volcanically active about 1.2 billion years ago.
So, China's getting helium fuel off the moon.
Yep.
That is
not
the
the
race,
crystal.
though, isn't it? That's why space exploration
Who can
is...
use the moon first?
Yeah, that's why space exploration is going. We're running short of shit on the Earth. We're mining it and digging it out to its extent. We need other stuff. It's in space in abundance. That's why we've got to get out there, isn't it? That's the main driving reason for a lot of companies and countries.
Well, of course, because we're eating the Earth's resources faster than it replenishes itself.
What did they find in the moon rocks in 1976 then?
Some other
cheese.
crystals.
Cheese, pure cheese.
Stilton. More like Wensleydale, actually.
Well, either way I'd eat it. But no, it's interesting. I mean, we've got to get into space, haven't we? We've got to get colonies on other planets, because otherwise we're going to die out as a species.
Yeah, we've got to sort this planet out first.
Yeah, but we've also got to spread out and fuck up other planets.
Nah, mate.
We'll just
Yeah.
join the Star Federation.
Because once we're a
we'll be
Type
right.
1 civilization, hopefully, by then we won't be burning fossil fuels and destroying the environment, and we may have got evolved on from capitalism to something better.
I know, but we've still got to spread out. We can't all be on one planet. We've got to be taken out by a single asteroid.
You got to do that first.
Yeah, well, either we'll get there, but we've got to spread out.
We're miles away from it. We're going backwards.
We've got to spread out. We've got to get on the moon. It'll be all corporations to do it.
We'll
So
be
what?
right.
There'll be like what? A few people live on the moon and everyone else is dead on Earth.
Yeah.
How good is that?
No, there'll be a few people living on the sun as well. Just get some like really, really good insulation suits.
Sort this
You're
planet
right.
out first. Save the planet that we're on. Then we can think about
We
colonising.
just need to call Captain Planet. I said this before.
Yeah, but he turns up and he flicks some toxic waste at him and he keels over.
Who's going to throw toxic waste at him?
That's what they always used to do in the show.
Just overthrowing the psychopaths that lead us right now.
No, we need to create 5 magic rings and summon Captain Planet. I'm sorry, I'm with Pete.
Thank you.
Claire?
I'm glad we're in agreement on this.
Claire, what are we going to
I
do?
used to watch Captain Planet.
You're shit.
And on that bombshell.
Bombshell.
You're not shit, Claire.
You're not, no.
you're not.
On that bombshell, people in Ukraine, watch the skies, mainly for bombs, but also for UFOs.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out, may the force be with you.
And I've been Claire. Don't be a Karen over an overturned lorry of dildos.
What was mine again?
Plunder the dildos. That's what I do. I'll be the dildo king.
You know, he once beat someone to death with a 12-inch black knobbled dildo.
And I've been Pete. Yeah, fucking watch out for UFOs and shit.
I've done that one!
I know, but I've just lost it.
Yours was the moon.
I've lost it.
We were talking about the moon.
Make you
Right.
pick anything.
I know, but
Oh, you
I
lost
can't
it.
remember what I was going to say, so I lost it.
He stole mine.
Hold on. Hold on. What were the stories again?
Oh no, it's right. It's gone now.
It's too late.
Oh.
Oh. Good on you, Ukraine, counter-attacking. Awesome.